Hi guys, welcome back to the farm. Today I'm planting some of my seeds in some of my pots here. I'm gonna do onions, a little more potatoes, and I'm also gonna start some chamomile because you have to start the chamomiles pretty early in the year. So I'm gonna start some German chamomile as well as some lavender, and I'm gonna get these in my containers here. It's in the warmest spot of my yard. And so I'm gonna plant these today. I'm gonna finish planting some of these potatoes here, and then I'm gonna get the onions also planted. So let's start. I'm also amending the soil and adding some fertilizer in there. I'm just gonna use some organic fertilizer, and then I can get some for my compost pile, and I can top it up after I'm done planting. So this is what I'm gonna fertilize with. So let's start these seeds. Okay, let's get the potatoes in. I'm gonna dig it pretty deep.
Stay here, buddy.
So I don't know how these potatoes are gonna fare, but I'm gonna get them in the ground anyway.
This way. Come on up,
I'm literally just dropping them in like this, see? Then I'm gonna use my trowel, cover it back up, leave a few inches. I'm going pretty deep in here, way deeper than you would with seeds for sure. And I'm getting the potatoes all the way in there. Put it up. And we get one down in the middle. See, that's a little frozen there. But we're due for pretty warm weather the rest of the week, so they should be okay. Okay, potatoes are all done. Let's move on to the next pot here. Okay, so for the onions and the chamomile and the lavender, I'm actually gonna plant them in these. And let me show you exactly how I do that. I also have a couple of other seeds I wanna show you guys that I'm gonna plant for the summer, but all of these, we're gonna plant them in these little fruit trays that you get when you buy blueberries or strawberries, grapes. These are from some plums. And this one was also some strawberries as well. This is a big one. I'm gonna use this big one here to start my onion seeds. So all I'm gonna do is fill this up with soil, and then we're gonna sprinkle the onion seeds all over, sprinkle a little bit more soil, literally like a ½ inch of soil, and then we're gonna water it properly. I'm gonna keep this on a little plate so that these little holes here, when they drip, it'll drip onto a plate. And this is actually a perfect little seed starter. Not only can you use it for starting seeds, but the best thing about it is that you can close it and it becomes a perfect little greenhouse with the amount of circulation that it needs. It's literally awesome for that. So let's use some soil, fill this up, and I'll get my onion seeds in here. And these seeds are gonna stay inside. It's too cold to leave the seeds out right now, especially when they're just seedlings and they're just starting to sprout. Let's see how much head space we have here. You wanna make sure you leave enough space for them to actually grow. A few inches of soil, perfect. See, so you can start any type of seeds in here, as long as they don't, when they get big enough, you can just open this up and just leave it open. This one's a little deeper if you have stuff that's gonna have a little deeper root. Fill this one up too. We're gonna get one for the lavender, one for the chamomile, and one for the onions. Just gonna pack it down and then remove some of the soil just to give some head space, so that when it grows, it actually has enough room to grow fully. Just gonna pack this soil down a little bit. There. Get a couple more of these filled up. Pack it in. sure I leave enough headspace. There we go. Let's do one more. And I'm gonna get one for the special seeds that I'll be showing you guys. I've never grown this before. I found them at the grocery store, and I'm just saving the seeds from this particular fruit that I've never tried. I tried it for the first time last week, and it's actually really good. So let me show you guys what it is. Okay, perfect little seed starting trays for free. All right, so here I have some seeds that I want to show you guys that I've been collecting. These are blackberry seeds. I just have them in a little paper towel here that I collected from organic blackberries that I bought from the store, ate the blackberries, and then I collected the seeds. So I have about 50 seeds here. I'll be starting them in one of these little cocoa core seed starting trays. I'm just gonna fill up a couple of these like this and get the blackberry seeds started in here. I keep the little cocoa cores inside of a styrofoam because I find these fall apart quite easily, and if you don't have them in a little tray or something, it's just gonna fall apart on you. So just keep them in there, fill it up. I'm gonna do 2 of these for my blackberries. Just gonna fill it up with soil. And then pop it in a little styrofoam cup. Perfect. These are so easy, practically free. Okay, so that is for my blackberries. Just gonna slide that there on the side so I know I have that ready. I also have some fig seeds here. They're so tiny. I don't know if you guys can even see that, but I'm also gonna plant some fig seeds in here. Now figs will obviously take a while before they're big enough to have any fruit on them, but it's just for fun mostly, and I think it's a really cool experiment to start figs from seed. So let's get these special seeds that I've been telling you about. Let me show you what they are. So this is a ground cherry. This one is a little shriveled because I've had it for probably 2 weeks now waiting to film this video for you guys. Now I ate the ground cherries that was in the pack that I purchased from the store. But in here, if you've ever had ground cherries, they're really quite seedy. So let me show you what it looks like. So I just open it up and you can see, look at all the seeds in there. A lot of seeds. It's a very seedy fruit. It's a little sweet, a little tart. So you can simply just take these and sprinkle them in your little seed starting trays like this. And all I'm gonna do, guys, is literally just take the seeds and just sprinkle them on like that, okay? I have some that I've had drying here on a paper towel. If you get them dry, you'll have a better success rate for starting them. So let's just sprinkle these on the soil, cover them up, and get these started. All right, so here's my little tray that I have here. I'm just gonna move the soil around a little bit on the top here. And I'm just gonna take my little ground cherry seeds and I'm really just gonna sprinkle them all over. This is gonna be a lot of ground cherries. See, I have another one here. I was saving a couple of these to make sure I had enough seeds to sprout for today. So I literally just, and then I labeled it ground cherry so I would make sure I remembered what seeds they were. And I also kept one with the paper towel so I wouldn't forget. So you can see, I just sprinkled all my ground cherry seeds all over like that. And I'm just gonna cover it up with like an inch of soil, maybe even less, maybe half an inch or so. Just gently press it. And then I'm gonna water this with my little sprayer. You can use also a spray bottle with water. And you close it up. Ready to go. Okay, let's do these blackberries, and I'm just gonna do just a few of them and just press them into the soil.
Hey Mala, what are you planting?
Blackberries.
Blackberries?
Yeah.
Can I help you plant?
Okay, one sec. So you can see these blackberry seeds are a little bit bigger than the other seeds, so I'm gonna sprinkle about 4 or 5 in there.
Okay. Hey, does you have your camera out here?
Yep. And I'm just literally just pressing them in.
Can I do it?
Just like that, and just pressing them in. You want to put some in this one?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just gonna sprinkle on a little more soil on here just to cover it up. Here, finish putting these seeds on, bud. So just push them into the soil. Alright, see, all the seeds are just sprinkled, and I'm just really just pressing them in a little bit, and then I'm just gonna sprinkle on a tiny bit more to cover them up. And blackberries are ready to go. Just gonna keep this here so I remember it's the blackberries. Ground cherries are done. Just gonna pop that in there so I remember it's the ground cherries. I already got the potatoes in. Now, let's get a couple more things planted in here. Let's do some chamomile. These chamomile seeds are pretty small, so let's just open it up. These are German chamomile. I've never successfully grown the chamomile before, so this will be my, I think, 3rd attempt at growing these. Now for chamomile, you're just supposed to gently sprinkle them all over the top layer of soil, and so it says it will self-seed as an annual, so 8 to 10 weeks before your last frost date. Optimal temperature for germination is 19 degrees, and bottom heat speeds germination. So if I put this on a heat mat, it'll help germinate these even better, which is exactly what I'm gonna do because I want my chamomile to actually grow this year. So I'm just gonna sprinkle a little bit like this. That's a lot, but I want a good amount of chamomile flowers. There we go. And again, smallest little amount just to sprinkle over like that. I'm barely covering the seeds. Just enough to cover them, and I'm just gonna lightly pack that in. Okay, cover that up and pop that back in. And then I'm just gonna
Sorry.
do it like that.
Sorry, that's okay.
So now we have all of these planted for today. Let's do our onions. I'm gonna get my onions in this big tray.
We're back.
This one's pretty big.
Watch my back.
So let's get the onions in now. We have this nice. Ready? We're gonna get the onions in there, and then we're gonna get the chamomile in this one. All right, Nella, you wanna help me with the onions?
Okay, I'll help you plant all the onions.
All right.
I'm just helping you plant all of your vegetables this spring.
Yep, okay. Now, all you have to do is, you wanna come on this side?
Okay.
Put your hand right here. Let me see if I can see it. All right.
See your finger.
Yes. So this is the Rosa di Milano onion. Rosa di Milano. So it's a red onion. I'm just gonna make a little, and then you're just gonna sprinkle them in this row. Sprinkle a whole row here.
Sitting right here.
I'm just gonna sprinkle a lot of onion seeds all over. There we go. I want a good amount of onions, so we'll separate these once we get them in the ground. They'll be, I'll separate them obviously and plant them in clumps of 3. kind of like you do with beetroot. You plant them in threes. Okay, that's it. Just cover them up slightly. Not too much. Perfect. Pat that down a bit. Just gonna pop that back in here so we know the onions are in here. And the last thing we're gonna do is the lavender. This one's called Hidcote Blue strain. So it's a vividly colored with a classic lavender fragrance. So this one also is an 8 to 10 week before frost date sowing. So we'll do that. And I'm just gonna, again, scatter the soil a little bit and then sprinkle it on. Top it off with like 1 inch of soil.
Back all of that.
So lavender has a very long germination period. It says the germination can take 20 to 50 days. So that's a really long time to wait for germination. Most seeds, it's usually a few days. So they're tiny little black seeds like this, you can see. And I'm just gonna sprinkle them all over the soil like that. With a tiny bit of soil. There we go. Pop that down. Get that back. And mostly all of our seeds for now are planted. All I have to do now is give these a very good watering. Make sure we don't move any of the seeds around when we're watering it though. Just try and keep them together. And then I'm gonna give them some fertilizer as well. So you can already see, guys, look at the steam. Do you see that?
Yeah.
This is why this is such a good seed starting container, because it really is like a mini greenhouse in here. So let's get these watered, and I'm gonna keep them by my window. And the lavender, I'm gonna put it on my heat mat so that it germinates faster for us. Okay guys, well thank you for joining me for this episode and starting some seeds with me. Make sure you guys come back. We'll be doing a lot more animal stuff as well, building and all sorts of things. Thank you for joining me guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Stay peaceful, bye.